Fallout 4 has tons of different difficulty settings to fit whatever experience you're trying to have, the hardest of them being survival mode. Instead of just managing your health and radiation levels, you'll now have to balance out sleep, thirst, and starvation. And to top off your struggle through the wasteland, you'll also have to combat diseases, some of them being minor, and some of them will ruin your day. And that brings me to today's challenge. Can you beat Fallout 4 on survival mode with all diseases? This is going to be a wild one, so buckle up. I made my character, and when it came to stats, I struggled making my character. Age dilemma kind of stuff, because essentially there's all these hidden roles that go into doing all of your stats and whatnot on a normal run, and in survival, if we're trying to get all diseases, some of them apparently can be cured over time, so we can't have this going any higher than 3, but realistically we probably want it as low as possible. So it sucks, but I honest to God think we have to go with like a 1. And I'm not a huge fan, but I think we have to. The next thing is, as far as charisma goes, I think a charisma of 5 will pretty much get you through like everything. We can't have companions, but as far as talking our way out of situations, you know, I'd probably just go 10, honestly. The next problem is trying to figure out, like, we need luck to be 3 for at least bloody mess, so that's okay. But as far as all of the other perks go, since we can do the craft swap glitch, realistically we don't need a whole lot of this other stuff. But I mean, agility makes it so we can run faster, and my god, we are going to be running everywhere. So what I'll probably end up doing is I'll go Idiot Savant is a 5, isn't it? So we'll drop this, do this, raise that. I think I'm okay with this, and then anything else that we need, we'll just have to deal with it. But yeah, Idiot Savant to build into other parts, and then we just go from there. Because even though our endurance is going to be low, we can still take a couple of those perks to offset it. Like Life Giver and things like that. Again, it's just a matter of trying to figure out how long it takes to cure some of these things. Like, even now that I look at this, I don't like where this is going. So we'll probably go with an endurance of 5 just so we can actually use some of those perks. Once those perks are situated, we should be set, and yeah, let's give this a go. Like my past self explained, there's a ton of hidden stats rolling around in the background on survival difficulty, and some diseases can be harder to get or harder to cure based on the endurance stat. But raising it to 5 like I did doesn't make me immune from diseases, plus items like Radaway and other chems can compromise your immunity to make it easier for you to catch said diseases. And since I needed to catch every one of them like some kind of sick, twisted Pokemon before even starting the main quest line, I needed to make sure my immune system was always on the fritz. So the tutorial went about as much as you'd expect, and then I did some power leveling to take some essential perks, things like Toughness, Bloody Mess, and Idiot Savant. But once I had a couple of levels under my belt, I made my way to the Red Rocket Garage and built a bed. Being as sleeping is the only way to save in survival mode, I would end up building a ton of beds throughout the Commonwealth. It wasn't long before I found a group of fellow strugglers in a dilemma. Apparently they had a synth traveling with them and tried to off him, but I diffused the situation and helped everyone go their merry way, only to get mauled to death by a pack of wild dogs and lose that progress. This was only the first of many deaths to come. But at least when I came back to the same location, I found some ghouls who fed on the travelers, and after killing them, I got some pretty decent armor for this early in the run. I consider this a win by any means, and I'll take whatever help Daddy Howard wants to throw my way. Continuing on my way, I made it to the Starlight Drive-In, and after killing a ton of mole rats, I set up a bed to save. But my journey into the wasteland was cut short in the Super Duper Mart, as my character was torn to shreds by a couple of ghouls. So now when I traveled, I tried to target houses or spots where a bed could be to basically build a highway of sleeping spots. But I got insomnia along the way, so out of the 7 diseases I would cross this off the list. While traveling, I did come across something that I wasn't aware survival added. You couldn't tell who NPCs were until you were right next to them. Like these two guys arguing over what makes a sandwich a sandwich. It makes fights with raiders a bit more difficult, but as the old adage goes, shoot first, ask questions later. But later on in my travels, I got chased by some mirelurks while, you know what, honestly, just watch this. No. Bro, this game is so dangerous when, like, fighting everything could be your last. That's a mine! Oh my god. Fucking mines, man. After dying some more, then regaining my bearings, I pushed forward, all the way to Fort Hagen, and after fighting off a horde of bugs, I was finally able to find a bed to sleep in, but then died in the basement to some crazy strong blood bug. So after dying a ton more, I decided I needed to head towards Diamond City to at least be somewhere familiar when I did get all of these diseases, and while the trek over was uneventful, I made it to the dugout inn to rent a bed, and before I decided to sleep and save, something went through my brain to steal some items, but since I was hidden, I didn't see an issue with this. But an NPC named Hawthorne had a different idea, sending me all the way back to Fort Hagen. So I started to make another trek across the Commonwealth only to find a landmine with my name on it. Then I got shot up by some raiders guarding a bridge, mowed down by a turret, and then ripped to shreds at the Cambridge police station. Surviving in survival mode is no joke. But after dying so much trying to get to Diamond City, I decided I would stop by the police station in Cambridge once again to watch Dan's rip through some ghouls, and once he was finished, I was able to sleep inside the station. It's not my destination, but it is a safe spot. Now I made the perilous journey to the Emerald Jewel and got lucky as one of the Diamond City security guards died fighting some super mutants, meaning I got some super sweet armor. And not too long later, I had returned to the dugout inn and made sure to buy a room for the night, moving my save point. So as far as diseases go, there are 7 major ones in the game: paranoia, parasites, insomnia, weakness, lethargy, infection, and the mole rat disease, the last one being quest specific. The other ones will randomly get added to your character over a 24-hour period. There's a lot of factors that go into play here, such as your level of starvation, dehydration, and sleep, and if you've taken any chems. Some of those will suppress your immunity to make it easier to catch diseases, and mole rat disease is one of those special ones. Not only does it take away 10% of your overall health for the remaining of the run, but also makes it so your immune system is always low. So that's where I was off to next. Good old Vault 81. I managed to get a safe spot right outside the vault and then talked my way inside without having to go find 3 fusion cores. Only issue is, I tried to steal some items while hidden and turn this place into my grave. So returning back to the vault, I visited the local NPCs and let a doctor draw some of my blood. I didn't know it at the time, but this is actually the start of the mole rat questline, and because I didn't know that, I spent ages talking to everyone here trying to find a mole rat so I could contract the disease. Because the mole rats in this vault are special, and mole rats outside of the vault don't carry this disease. However, I was here for so long that my sleep levels dropped so low that I couldn't sprint or run, meaning I had to literally creep through this entire vault. After 45 minutes of struggle, I made it outside and slept long enough to regain my speed. Only issue is I didn't realize at the time that sleeping can also cure certain diseases, but more on that later. But after getting some sleep and returning to Vault 81, I was then given the task of going into a hidden away vault, housing mutant mole rats. And this is where I would get my disease, but the best part was that there was a bed right at the start to save at. What came next was a slog through tight corridors and blasting mole rats to pieces, but the combat shotgun did work here as I cleared through the mole rats, and plus, since I was able to eat their meat after slaying them, my health was always kept up as well. But after wiping these mole rats off the face of the planet, I found a robot named Curie who gave me the antidote to the disease I had contracted while I was down here. But instead of using it on myself, I used it on another victim. I gained tons of experience points and a bed in the process. But as I went to leave, I noticed that I had cured myself of insomnia. It's not the end of the world as this one's easier to get, but this is where the downfall of the run started. I somehow got fatigued just randomly walking around and then went to Backstreet Apparel to clear out some raiders there. The raiders here didn't put up too much of a fight, and the ones that could got a landmine to the face. But I did score some new gear and a ton of ammo, so I considered this a win overall. So, with that win under my belt, I returned back to Diamond City, only for the owners of the Dugout Inn to ask my opinion on the radio host Travis, and at one stage even asked me to help take him out. They laughed it off as if it was a joke, but what came next was one of the best quests in the game. So being curious as I was, I went and talked to Vadim to see if he was serious about getting rid of Travis. Turns out he just wanted to toughen him up and give him some life experience. So of course, I signed up to help. Vadim, being over the moon, got some thugs to pick a fight with Travis in the inn, and I was to help if things got out of hand. Which of course they did, and soon I was brawling with the thugs. But I hate to report that we lost. I didn't have much health going into the brawl, and I let my homie Travis down. So to make it up to him, I went to set up a rematch, but Travis was done losing. Oh, fuck! Whoa! 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 Oh, shit! Dude! Oh, shit! Oh my god! They fucking... What? Oh my god! Travis, chill! Holy shit! After the gunfire had ceased, Vadim thanked me for a job well done and told me to reward Travis by getting his crush to visit him at his house. It was an easy enough task, surprisingly, and I was sure all was sorted out now. But when I got back to the inn, Vadim's brother informed me that Vadim had been kidnapped by the thugs Travis just shot up, and now we had to go rescue him. Luckily, Travis was on board for a two-man rescue mission, and off we went to the brewery where our friend was being held captive. There was a bed right inside, so at least I had a save point nearby, and although I did die a couple of times, Travis did most of the heavy lifting and we freed Vadim. Travis, now seeming a changed man, said he would continue to do radio and had a new perspective of life. Quest complete. But even though I helped Travis change his life around and complete his quest, this is the point where I realized I was going to fail mine. The requirement for this challenge was to obtain every disease before starting the main quest line. However, to save in this run, you have to sleep. By sleeping for an hour, you can save but wake up tired. By being tired, you slowly lose stats and the ability to move quickly. So much that it can be reduced all the way down to walking speed. The other problem is some diseases can cure themselves over time. If you were to sleep for 4 hours, you could cure one of the diseases you fought so hard to get. And sometimes, depending on a random roll in the background, you could gain diseases out of nowhere. So what I found after hours of testing, to not die from starvation, dehydration, and maintain a certain level of walk speed, you could spam the 1 hour rest in a bed to gain or lose diseases. But after scouring the internet, which surprisingly didn't have much info to help me out this time, diseases only roll once every 24 hours, and because of RNG, you can roll the same disease over and over. And to make matters worse, some of these diseases can cure themselves faster than you can gain them. So I tried to take matters into my own hands and allowed mole rats and ghouls to both take bites out of me, hoping they could give me something, as some forums said they could give infection, but it didn't really do anything. I always found eating or sleeping to be the major cause of disease, with the exception of mole rat disease, but that one was specifically tied to a quest. In Skyrim, there is a well you can go to gain all of the base game diseases, but unfortunately Fallout 4 does not have that. And since you can't get all the diseases at the same time and keep them, you can't do this run. So no, you cannot beat Fallout 4 with all diseases on survival mode. Sorry for this video coming out a bit late. In the process of getting this footage and writing the script, I actually got super sick and was unable to do pretty much anything. But I'm on the mend now and all should be well moving forward. I didn't realize this was going to be like this, but after 15 hours into the run, I think it's fair to call it quits. But I do consider myself a scientist here. But, to make matters worse, console commands are even disabled in survival mode, so I couldn't change my stats or speed up the time or anything, which means I couldn't even console command the diseases in even if I could find the codes. It's been a while since I failed a challenge, but you can't win them all. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, or if you have a suggestion for a challenge run, make sure to leave it in the comments below. If you're new to the channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any videos in the future. And as always, I've been Chris from Crisis Gaming, and I will see you in the next one. Hey everyone, it's Chris again. Just doing the editing on this newest video, and there is actually a way to do console commands, but it involves a bunch of swapping back and forth between the difficulties. However, the next challenge run I'm going to be doing is going to be the survival run at minimum stats with no perks, no anything, and my thought process is if I can do that run at 1 endurance while still gaining all of the diseases, I won't go out of my way to cure them. So we'll have a second attempt to see if you can actually get all of the diseases with a lower endurance rating. Again, I don't think it made that big of a difference in this one to go with 5 instead of 1, but it's food for thought, and we'll see this next time come around. So I'll see you guys on the next video. Until then, see ya.